Welcome back to Prezco. I'm the Business Prez. This is the Daily Trend. Let's get into the show. Us, us, us. So last week's conversation was all about the Bitcoin dominance and what was going to happen at this level here. And on the weekly time frame, we can see it wicked and it closed or is about to close. Bullish hammer. So we got bullish candle, bullish weekly candle closing at its support range. Now there was two hypotheses. We break this green line, we move into altcoin season. We bounce and push our way up. We consolidate, we break this orange line, bear market. If we're going to bounce, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens next. So you see we had a massive candle at this level, and it looks like that candle is going to continue. Now we are below resistance. This main one is the 50, and that is likely where we can see some kind of resistance, but this is a massive reaction. But what does it mean? What did we see in the market? So over the past few days, we've seen the market increase. It was under $1 trillion. It was bottomed out at 900 billion. Okay, let's get these off. My predictions never seem to work out, but the trend does. We had 10% of the money come into the market. We had buyers coming into the market at this level. All right, take away from Bitcoin, we had a lot of buyers come into the market. Take away from Bitcoin and Ethereum, we had a lot of buyers come into the market, but we're under resistance. So if we're at resistance on the altcoin market and the Bitcoin dominance is bouncing, is Bitcoin likely to gain strength here and altcoins just kind of bleed out, or what's going to happen? It's very interesting. The leader of the market at that moment is definitely Ethereum. And you see the difference here. The altcoins themselves without Ethereum are below the moving average. Key moving average, the 50. In fact, let's make this bigger. Actually, that can be blue. I've been figuring out my colors. Yeah, there we go. Ethereum, hang on, Bitcoin itself, the whole market is above the moving average. Ethereum is above the moving average. Altcoins are at a bit of resistance. We just have to see what happens. Altcoins can fly. So if it's bull run confirmed, altcoins can fly. We don't need to worry about this. It's all just very interesting. Let's go back to the Bitcoin dominance, see what we can see. On the RSI, we tagged red. We've been consolidating down for quite some time. We've had this reaction, but we are still under resistance, as I said before. If we move into Bitcoin itself, we can see a massive reaction from the bottom. Buyers come in, bought Bitcoin. Bitcoin right now is at the moving average. It's under resistance. It's very likely that we'll see a small pullback. We got 3, potentially 5 to 10%. Even if we want to retest the lows, it's about 15. Could it happen? Yes, absolutely. But we could also just break up and keep going here. So I've marked the downside and the upside. There's more upside, and if we come down Indicators stay green. It's more reason to go long. Now Ethereum looks so bullish right now. Okay, we've had this bottom, we've had this impulse, and it just consolidated slightly. And it just bounced, broke this moving average. Now we had this highlighted a bit better. And this was the bull flag. Now, the way I see Ethereum right now, so there's two scenarios. And the catalyst is the Ethereum merge coming up. We've got a downtrend into a bottom and then a pullback. That is a cup and handle pattern. Its target is measured from the bottom to the neckline, and we can see we got rejected here that formed the handle. And the target, if we break out the neckline, sends us up to 3 grand. Very interesting. Alright, now this first impulse in which we consolidated to probably, oh yeah, we hit the 618. Interesting. What a good buy. The flag for the pole measured at the breakout also takes us to our 3 grand target. Guys, we could potentially see a $3,000 Ethereum very soon. We got our divergence here, we tagged red, that played out, and we're picking up again. We scoot down into the buy zone, we flip the moving averages, and we pick back up. So in the short term, ETH is very, very bullish. ETH is very, very bullish. The daily trend is very bullish. XRP is flat bottom, but let's take a look at it because XRP is reacting nicely too. Now it's had this last little dip, this last little consolidation buy zone, right? We've been flat for a long time. Now whether we just form a top here, consolidate even more, will be interesting to see. But XRP has a lot of catalysts coming up too, which I'll show you shortly. But first, our final altcoin, ADA. This chart's a bit messy, as you can see. So I want to show you how the daily trend works. Let's remove everything and start again. We've got the moving averages, the 50 and the 21. We've got the RSI. Everything's a bit bright and colourful at the moment, but that's irrelevant. You can use the basic indicators, that is fine. This is the MACD. We're on the daily time frame, that's why it's called the daily trend. Now this MACD gives us our trend. By marking out the bounces and the crosses, we can determine what the trend is. So let me show you. This is clearly a downtrend. Alright, we're not looking at anything else. Let's just bring up the MACD. Oop. So we're marking crosses here. That's a pretty obvious one. That's a red cross. Here is another one, a red cross. Why are these red? Because they cross from the top to the downside. Okay, that might make it a bit easier to see. There's your 3 biggest ones. Now let's point out your bullish ones from the bottom to the top. We'll put that one in the middle and I'll show you what I see. Now let's study what's going on with the price. Okay, we've got our red. That should be our bearish trend. We've got our green, that should be our bullish trend, right? Well, let's see. Our red signifies a bearish trend, definitely does. Okay, we can get in short, we can take us down 50%. You can make 50% on the downside. Beautiful, right? And what happens, we bring it into a double bottom. And a double bottom usually breaks up, right? But no. this double bottom, double top, and we continued down. So why did we get green? All right, we crossed up, yeah, but we come down. All right, because we're below the midline. All right, so let's turn this blue. Okay. And then when's our next up cross or our bounce? So we're up and we bounce. Yeah. Okay. Let's make that one green. And let's see what happened. Okay. We've got our downtrend. Our downtrend starts again. So we're in a downtrend, we pull back, we cross down, and we continue down under the moving averages. If you want to be safe, you can wait for all this to happen. And as soon as we drop into the bearish territory, we can see we up and down, but we're below it, and we trended lower. So we're red, right? And we're bouncing, we bounce away, continues the downtrend, right? So if you're in short, you can trail your stop loss so that when something like this happens, you're out in one of these ranges, okay? Couple of days down, couple of days, oh, we break trend, all right? So there are ways to follow the trend and capture it, all right? But what happens? Looks like we get pushed down again immediately and continue, which we do, all right? We crossed up. Now this is important on the MACD. Let's go back and have a look at it. We crossed up, but is it green? No, it's not green. Why? Because we're in the negative territory. So let's make that blue. I call this the cool down phase. We cooled down, we got rejected, we continued the bearish trend. We crossed there. We crossed in the negative, so let's immediately make that red. We could also see that these hills were going down. Are you with me? Lines going down, come up, go down. While they're coming up, the hills are going down. Means more pressure's down, and we can see that play out. And we see this cross literally the next day, the open from 10 o'clock, we had a 15 to 20% move in a day. In a day! That's insane, right? That's insane. We're not even reading the RSI. That's the best thing. So we come down. Looks like we bottom out because the hills have rounded out. Okay? And then we get a couple of bullish candles. Alright? Now these blue, the reason why they're blue is again these fancy indicators. This means extra volume. So if we've had extra volume come in, we get a reaction. What happens? Do we cross down? Well, we actually bounce. So instead of coming up and crossing down, we come up and bounce. Something's changed here, right? Well, interesting. Well, what happens to the price? The price is still compressed. It still goes lower, right? Because we're under. But we bounce here. We've already marked it out as a green candle. So this means we're in a bearish trend, but we've got some bullish price action ahead. If we put in a long here, then we've got 10% to stop out. Otherwise, this trend continues and we're wrong. But we can come up to the moving average here, which is a 40% move. Now that's a 4-to-1 risk reward, and the indicators are stacked in our favor. So let's see what happens. Big green candle immediately on the very next day. Our stop loss can come from minus to break even. Could even move it into profits. We could even close half your position in these profits, move your stop loss to break even, and see what happens tomorrow. 18% in a day. Counter trend. Alright, what happens? We get another one. We push all the way up to the 50, which is down a bit more now. But we pushed up from this blue line, from this green line here. We pushed up to the moving average. if you got in maybe a bit late after all this confirmation, you could have captured 30%. Alright, and then we start to hit the moving average as resistance and the midline, which will act as resistance. And what happens? Bang, you lost half of your gains on the next day. So it's important to know where you're going and know what's coming next. So what happens? The MACD looks like it's going to bounce again. It's pushing through this resistance. We haven't had a change of direction on the MACD, so are we going to break out of this resistance? Okay, this is interesting too. Now we got in here, we got minimum 15%, now it's pushed back up to 30%. So savage trader on lower time frames would have captured 40%, be back in and have another trade up 15%, and this is what's possible. We're just following the daily. Now, are we going to break out? No. But there were 2 trades there, and now there's another one. Now we're getting rejected. Bearish candle, and it looks like this is about to cross down. We could be in a short here. Let's play it. Alright, that's 17% to the top. That's pretty risky. Maybe we should wait. Let's see what happens. Let's see if we can pull back. Well, that would have been a good trade. Now we pull back to this resistance and it looks like we're going to bounce. So now this is interesting. Even if we get in at the bottom of this candle here, we can stop out at the top at 17%. That's a lot. These things move a lot. And then we push down. We got another chance here. Okay, that's 10%. That's a bit better. We can target 10%. But no, this is looking like it's turning around. See, this hill's pushing up. These are flat. They're not nearly as low as these before. They're close to the 50. Maybe this is going to turn bullish. And we've just had our first cross, which means blue. Okay. And it doesn't quite play out. And we cross up again. We've got our green one. This was our one from before. And after our blue cross, if we've got a green cross, maybe this is going to play out. Alright, well, we're away from resistance, 20%, 15, 20%, and below us is a 5, if you want to play it tight, or a 10% stop loss. So the down move is always less than the up move, but you always lose more on the downside. It's crazy. But we can play long here, so let's get in long. Okay. Shrink this a bit. It's going on for a bit, guys. Sorry. Just showing you the power of the daily trend. Okay, so we've got our 10% stop loss. We're targeting 10%. We'll see what happens when we get there. Okay. Indicators are on our side. We're not even reading the RSI yet. And what happens, looks like we get a bit of volume come through. Okay, we might get another go at this. Not looking good. Okay, we get stopped out of the tight one, but it's not looking good. No, we're done. So maybe was wrong. Why was I wrong? Because we're under the negative. So we should be looking for shorts. We should be looking for this pullback to the downside. And I was guilty of this for the longest time. Always looking for the longs. We've got support. We've got support. But there's too much resistance there and we're in a bearish market. The bears are going to win. And I get stopped out and then price comes back up. Do you see what I'm saying? But if we can follow our indicators, combine this with another very powerful indicator, then we can see bearish phase, the bullish phase, the bearish phase, Small bullish phase, maybe this was just a pullback. Do you see what I'm saying? Long bullish phase, bang. Hope you had your stop loss in. Alright, let's see what happens next. This is a bearish phase, we're going sideways, we're pulling back, we're likely to have another downtrend. Alright, but no, this is where we're at now. Okay, we've had our bearish move, we broke out, we've retested, and now we're pushing up. We could stay bullish for a long time. Okay, so let's come back to our trending indicator. We've had this down move. In the down move, the heels have pushed it up. Okay, this should be blue because it's the first cross. And when this blue line has gone to come down again, okay, and the heels have come down, we bounce, we push up, and the heels have pushed back up again. So we need that bounce to signify that we're bullish. So now, in this phase, in this moment, ADA Cardano is bullish. So we shrink that, when we shrink that, have a look at price action. Right, well, we're above the moving averages. We've made this down move. We've broken up, we've retested, and we made a new high. So now any pullback is likely to get eaten up, and then we push higher. So from here, there's not really a lot. We've got 10% up, we've got 10% down. But if it pulls back to the supports, indicators are still bullish, we haven't gone from green to blue, it could be very, very bullish. So guys, if you want to see more of this, it's all in the Discord. Alright, cleaned it right up. It'll be very easy to watch now. We've got our guide, how to buy, how to trade, teach you everything you need to know from beginner to pro. We've got a chat room, and we've got the daily trend. Everything I've just showed you in ADA for all of these different coins. Now I've cleared it up a bit because there's a lot I watch. A lot of it's on the macro. It's very important. I get the market sentiment, like I told you last time, with the Bitcoin dominance and the USD. That's very important. And then we've got our four altcoins that we're going to, well, our 4 coins, the big 4 that we're going to play this trend with, the daily trend strategy. We're going to play it with these 4. We're going to watch some altcoins too. I'm going to fill them out here. I'm going to journal it along the way. And I'm going to warn of any risks that we have coming up. So this is where the content will be displayed. This is where we can chat. This is where you can learn everything. And this is the back end, the blockchain. And the juicy news is XRP will be minting very soon. 3 days. 3 days. Okay, I am with Club XRPL. I have 4 tokens I want to mint when this is ready. That may be a bullish catalyst to send XRP to the moon. We've got our green tag. We are bullish. As long as our indicators stay green, we could see bullish price action. Make up for all this bearish price action we've been having. We haven't even hit the all-time highs yet. We've got a 3x to get back to the top. That's not even all-time high, and that's not even our projected all-time high. Very, very interesting. So, smash the like button, subscribe. There's links in the description below to everything that you need to know. Thank you for watching. I'm the Business Prez. See you next week. Bye.